Hello everybody, it's Obring, and today I wanted to bring you a texture pack review. And I haven't done one of these in a bit, but I found myself a texture pack I am really loving. And this texture pack is called Storyblock. It was on Reddit a bit ago, and they showed off a couple of things, and then I just sort of followed it, and it's beautiful and I love it, and I wanted to show it to you and share it with you all. So let's get on with talking about Storyblock. One of the first things that you should know about Storyblock is that it's not finished yet. I think it's still an alpha according to the Minecraft forum, so there's a few things that are kind of iffy on it. So just keep that in mind. However, even though it's not complete, it's still worth playing with. One of my favorite things about this texture pack is how exceptionally clean and crisp it is. It feels really good. You can tell that the author of this texture pack put in a whole lot of effort to make sure that it was nice and crisp and clean and professional. The end product is amazing because of that. With that said, the other thing that I really love about this texture pack is the overall feel that you get from the world because of it. It is extremely vibrant, it is extremely colorful, everything looks really nice to look at from a distance, and even when you get in, but from a distance, just being able to look at a Minecraft world is beautiful, and it's one of my favorite things about this texture pack, because it really takes me back to when I first started playing Minecraft, and I just was in awe of the world gen. Is this texture pack really makes me get back into that, oh my goodness, this shit looks beautiful, and I love it. As I've already mentioned, one of my favorite things about this texture pack is how crisp and clean it is. And I want you to take a look at some of the items that this texture pack sort of uses, and you can see the amount of detail that everything has. If I haven't mentioned this yet, it is a HD texture pack, or I think it's 32 by 32, it might be 64 by 64, I have no idea, but I will put that in the description. So you can see just the amount of detail all of these items have. With that said, I do also have a bit of a complaint about some of the items. This is a texture pack that changes the items and the way they look, so they're not actually like necessarily a 32 by 32 version of the same item. So this isn't like the Faithful pack where he just changes the item to make it look crisper. He actually changes the way items look. For the most part, they look amazing, and I have no issue with the way he's done it. However, there are a few items that I have a bit of a finicky complaint about, and this is entirely my opinion. If you don't mind it, then who cares? This is my opinion on this. Now, here are some of the items that I have particular issues with. The first one is the bucket. The bucket, it grinds on me because it's made out of wood. And it's probably, like I said, this is something that doesn't really matter, but it bugs me personally. It's made out of wood. You use iron to make it, so it makes no sense. And then when you get to lava bucket, it's really confusing. I have a bucket of lava. Why is it in wood? I don't know. Whatever. I think it works great for water, and I think it works great for milk, but for lava, and the fact that I use iron to make it, confuses the shit out of me. Next item that I have an issue with is the the raw pork chop, because when it gets cooked, it turns into a sausage. Now, I'm okay with some of these items changing. For example, as you can see here, the bread is a piece of pizza, and that is awesome. Like, I'm okay with that because it's still bread. So no issue with that. But when it comes to cooked to uncooked to cooked, and it actually changes shape, I'm just kind of curious how a furnace is capable of doing that. Again, nitpicking. Especially since a lot of the other items like steak and cooked steak makes sense. The last few items that I have issue with just sort of, in my opinion, look a little weird. And here is one of them. Zombie flesh. That looks like a brain to me. This, I think I'm mostly kind of confused about because I play a lot of Thaumcraft, and in Thaumcraft you actually get zombie brains. So when I first saw this drop, I kind of was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, I'm sort of used to dropping brains. I'm not sort of used to dropping flesh as brains. Eyes, these are spider eyes. confusing thing about spider eyes, I suppose, is the fact that they look like human eyes and they don't look like spider eyes. I do, and I love the art on this one, so I do love the fact that it looks so much like an eye. It's just, it's weird for a spider eye, because spider eyes don't look like human eyes. I don't think they have all that much to them. Pumpkin pie also bothers me a bit, only because it's got a thing growing out of it. I personally do not like my food having things growing out of it, as you can see by the poisoned potato. It has things growing out of it. I don't want to eat things that grow out of it. I don't know. Again, nitpicking, so not a big deal. Lastly, cookies. Cookies look like turds. And honestly, it's not like they look bad. They actually look like a turd. A turd that maybe somebody ate a little bit too much white confetti. So it kind of, that's why I'm kind of in these items. They kind of confuse me, and this one just, I just plain old don't like. Ender pearls. This is an ender pearl, and this is an ender eye. Or yeah, I have ender. What is my big deal about these? They look like frog eggs. If you look up, go Google a frog egg, this is what it looks like. So it kind of confuses me again. I would prefer the green color that Minecraft has, because it is sort of less confusing. It's different enough. It doesn't look like a thing in real life. This looks like frog eggs to me. The reason that I'm confused by these is because just by looking at all four of these items, I couldn't tell you what they are. I actually would have had to look it up, and I did. This one's netherwort. Problem with netherwort is that it's white. In my opinion, I really like the red netherwort. I think white netherwort looks kind of odd. I was going to plant, but I guess I can't. This is a blaze rod. Blaze rods they look like icicles. They're called blazes. They're not called frostless. I don't know. They're not a frosty thing. They're a fire thing. So the fact that they look like icicles, yeah, that's just me. This one, this is glowstone dust. So, oh my goodness, I suck at mid-clicking. This is glowstone dust. Why do I have a problem with glowstone dust? This thing's adorable. It's the cutest little blocky fairy thing I've seen ever. It's great and I love it. It doesn't look like glowstone dust to me though. And then when it comes to sticking four of these together to make a block, I'm also rather confused. I guess I always imagine like compressing four glowstone to get a block, which makes sense. I don't know about squishing four fairies together. Now, and it just has to do with this particular item. I think the design of this is really pretty and I love it. But I don't know about it being glowstone dust. That's just me. Again, nitpicking. Now, this item here is a painting. The reason I have an issue with this item is that, to me, it looks like a mirror. So again, when I first saw it, and I think this has to do with the fact that I play a lot of Thaumcraft, is that when I saw this, I was like, magical mirror! And then I was disappointed to seeing it a painting. And I know I shouldn't have thought that because I'm playing vanilla Minecraft, but I did. So that kind of confused me just a tad bit. Now, those are the items that confuse me. Again, this is personal, this is nitpicking, and all it does is just sort of confuse me for a second. I've played with this texture pack for a while now, and I have gotten over it, and I'm okay with it now. But at first, when I first started playing with it, it confused the ever-loving crap out of me. I just didn't know what these items were, and I was at a loss. But, again, nitpicking, overall the quality of the way the art is done is beautiful, so I have no problem with that. It's just sort of a nitpicking of you made the items look different, and now I don't know what they are. Next bit that I have a hard time with is redstone. As you can see in front of me, I have redstone. The redstone item looks like a ball. I'm okay with that. It's red. It's kind of a stone, I guess. So it makes sense. I have no issue with redstone being a red thing. I have an issue with it being this string-like thing. And I understand sort of where it's going. I guess this looks like wires and sort of tangled up wires, which is good, except for the fact that there is a point where I don't know which way things are facing. So it makes it makes seeing which way redstone dust is sort of going kind of confusing at times. That I can deal with. This is the part that I can't. This is unlit redstone. This is lit redstone. It doesn't light up. I know it's got this particle effect to it. The particle effect is cool. I like the particle effect. But it's not on. I don't know. I guess my complaint with this is if you play with the particles off, then you might have... yeah, you can't tell whether it's on or not. So for those people with not a good computer, they can't be running Minecraft like some of us do. This is rough. And here's the thing, it doesn't go with all the redstone stuff. So here's a repeater and here's a comparator. You can easily tell when one is on and one is off. Like, it turns on, it turns off. It's beautiful. I love these, by the way. Comparator's awesome. But the redstone itself, not being able to know when it's on and off, is a problem. With the problems out of the way, I want to show you somewhat what a build would look like. And I just sort of make this build. I used items that I thought would look good in a regular build without a texture pack, and then I put on the texture pack. So we can sort of look at, see how it would look like using a texture pack or not using a texture pack. Right off the bat, I can tell you that I love stone brick. It's big, it's beautiful, I love it. I love cobblestone, it's nice and crisp. I love the way that mossy cobblestone looks. It feels like it's just dripping moss. It fits in perfectly with the regular brick so that it just sort of stands out. And the same is true for mossy cobblestone. It fits perfectly with the cobblestone. Like, you can tell that it won't, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Again, issues is that some blocks are not completed yet, but I mentioned that earlier. So things like the nether brick isn't done, so it definitely makes building with some materials a little bit more difficult. And again, I just wanted to show off some of the different materials that you can use, some of the very different items that I would have placed in a build, just for you to look at and sort of see what things would look like. And this, like I said, is a very simple build. There's nothing much to it. I just wanted to show off sort of this compared to a non-textured Minecraft experience, I suppose. And finally, I want to show you my favorite parts about this texture pack. And here it is, the clays and the glass. The stained glass, the regular glass, it looks amazing. I am a fan of this glass. It looks brilliant. You can see through it. It's got just enough sort of detail for me to know that it's glass with the little slashes there. I think it looks beautiful. The rest of the glasses are equally amazing. They're no longer just re-tinted glass. You can see that the borders on them change. They have little patterns on them depending on what color you're using. So it makes it look really nice. This might affect you if you say are making stained glass windows or are doing anything kind of like anything where you don't need that pattern. But if you're just gonna outright build a house, I think this gives you the opportunity to just use some really interesting glass without needing to create a pattern, with just being able to just show off just the glass on its own. Now, the other favorite part that I really love is the clay. The clay is so vibrant. It is so colorful. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. It's not the regular sort of tinted but darker that Minecraft does. He actually put in some very vibrant colors, and yet it still has some detail that lets you know that this is clay and this is not just a solid block of another color. And my last favorite part about this texture pack is the wood. The wood looks fabulous. Each type of wood comes with its own pattern, I suppose you could put it, and it looks great. Now, the one downside to this is that it's really hard to stick two wood types together because the patterns no longer match up. But that's okay, because now with this kind of texture to the wood, I now feel more comfortable, say, having a floor that's entirely one type of wood and not having to create patterns or mix and match to create the texture that I'm looking for. Well, that's it for this review. All I can say is that I absolutely love this texture pack. It reminds me of one of the old texture packs that I used to play a lot with, Minecraft for Kids. It's nice and bright and colorful. It makes me feel like I'm playing a very, very friendly, very, very welcoming version of Minecraft, and I really love that feeling that I get from it. I do have a couple of complaints about it. The items, I know that a lot of the pieces aren't yet finished, so I understand that. I really hope that at one point this author can get to the paintings. I think the paintings need to be added. I think that there's just a lot of missing bits, but I understand that because it wasn't promoted as a finished product anyway, so it's not like a real complaint. And thank you guys for your time. I greatly appreciate if I can get a like and a subscribe. I would greatly love it. You all have yourself a great Minecraft.